I thought it was impossible, but I was able to install RStudio on my Android phone. I went through the nightmare of setting up Linux and compiling RStudio from the source code so you don't have to. It took me a couple of days of Googling error codes and fixing them to finally compile RStudio. And it took me another couple of days to write a script that automatically installs RStudio. And now I am sharing this through YouTube, so that more people can carry out this powerful tool that is RStudio in their pockets. But why would you want to install RStudio in your phone? The first reason is portability. You can start writing some code in your home, then go to somewhere else, like go to visit some relatives, or go to the beach for a couple of days. Instead of carrying out your laptop, you could just bring your phone with some wireless mouse and keyboard, and work from your phone. Wouldn't RStudio be slower in my phone than using it in my computer? Well, not exactly. I ran some benchmarks and, in some tests, my phone was faster than my computer, which is crazy, considering that my phone, the Poco F3, is in Amazon at $300 and my laptop can be found at $1,000. That is, if you run RStudio on a modern phone, especially Xiaomi phones, due to their performance to price ratio, then you will get better performance for lower price compared to if you were to buy a new laptop. Of course, my laptop has a bigger screen, it can run many other programs, and has a dedicated GPU in which you can play games, so this explains the difference in price, but that's not the point. The point is that RStudio in your phone is faster per dollar invested. Another point is that Android phones are more power efficient because of the CPU architecture and passive cooling. If I were to use RStudio with my laptop disconnected from the wall, it might last like 2 hours. But if I were to stream RStudio from my phone to my laptop, I could enable the battery saving profile on my laptop without worrying about RStudio becoming slow, and then my laptop could last 4 to 5 hours, while my phone could easily last for like 12 to 24 hours, depending on workload, before the battery runs out. So, how to install RStudio in your Android phone? Let's begin. First, you have to download and install Termux from the F-Droid store. Do not download from the Play Store because the Play Store version is outdated. Now run these two commands to allow Termux to access your files and update Termux. Answer yes to everything. Then we have to install Ubuntu on Android. We have two options. If your phone is rooted, you should install Ubuntu using CRUT to run Linux commands natively, but if you haven't rooted your phone, then you will have to run Ubuntu using CRUT, which, if I understand well, it has to translate the Linux commands so that Ubuntu thinks it is running as root, but this decreases performance. I am going to show you both ways. For the root users, first make sure that Termux has root privileges. For that, type SU, and if it looks like this, then you are good to go. Type exit to exit root. Now to install Ubuntu, go to this GitHub page, copy this command, paste it, and press enter. Here it will ask you for an image, so just Google Ubuntu ARM64 tar.gz, search for the latest image with ARM64 in the name, copy the link and paste it. For the non-root users, copy and paste these commands to install Ubuntu. To enter Ubuntu, just type Ubuntu. Once you installed Ubuntu, regardless of whether you used the root method or the non-root method, this next step is the same. Copy and paste these commands. wait a little bit, and it will ask you for your time zone. Once you answer that, wait until it finishes compiling. For me it took me like 3 hours to compile using the root method, and like 6 hours to compile using the non-root method. Now if you turn the screen off, the phone's CPU will likely enter into sleep mode, that is, the CPU frequency will drop to save battery, but we don't want that because that would increase the compilation time, so to avoid the CPU entering into sleep mode, you can open your notifications panel, and in Termux, press Acquire Wake Lock. However, this does not work on all phones. If it doesn't work for your phone, then you would have to change your screen timeout to infinity from the settings. I will cancel out the compilation since this is my mom's phone, and I have RStudio already compiled in my phone. So this is my phone and I am going to show you the questions that you will have to answer at the end of the script. For that I am going to execute the last lines of code. So here it will ask you if you want to delete files that you no longer need. If the compilation was successful, I will say no. Now, it will ask you if you want to create a new user and password that you can use to log into RStudio. So if you used the root method, then go ahead and create a new user, but if you used the non-root method, then just say no because I don't know why yet, but the only way to use RStudio is logging in as the root user. Now, it asks you if you want to allow the root user to log into RStudio. If you are root you can say yes or no, but I recommend to say yes and I will explain you why in a moment, but if your phone is not rooted, you must say yes because it is the only way to run RStudio, at least for now. And finally it will show you the address that you need to enter in a web browser to access RStudio, from your phone, or from another device connected to the same network. Personally I wouldn't use RStudio from my phone unless I connect a mouse and keyboard to my phone. Instead, I would connect to it using a laptop. So I am in my laptop now. I will type my phone IP address and the port that, by default, is 8787. Now if you are root you can log in using the user that you created before, or you can log in as the root user. I will log in using a user different than the root one, and I will show you why you should preferentially use the root user. It is because if you log in as root, you can go to the terminal tab and from here you can do anything to your Ubuntu installation. So for example, if I install the library raster, it throws me an error. It says that in Debian I have to install this package, so I can copy this, go to the terminal and install that package, but since didn't logged in as the root user I can't install packages. But if I log out and log in with the root user, now I can install the package. Once it finished I can try to install the raster package again. And now it works. I can do a benchmark by installing the package benchmark and run benchmark_std. And I am going to compare it with my laptop results. You can see that my phone was faster than my computer doing the cross-product tests. My phone took like 6 seconds to execute the cross-product while my computer took 12 seconds, twice as long. But my phone was slower doing the Escoffier test, taking it 33 seconds while my computer did it in 1.6 seconds. You can also create plots and create Word documents or even PDFs, but for that you would have to install LaTeX to your Ubuntu installation first. You can upload files to your phone by pressing the upload button, or download files by selecting the files you want to download. Press the gear icon and click on export, and it will download the file. So that's it. If you like the video, you know what to do. Feel free to comment and share, so that more people can experience the benefits of having RStudio installed on their phones. For battery reasons, portability, or just to show off to your friends how smart ass you are for installing RStudio in your phone. Bye bye.